Folks, this method of making stone tools was passed down from generation to generation for 100,000 plus years, maybe 1,000,000 years. It was a trained art. And I found evidence of the stone splitting process. I'm not sure if they did a lot of pounding, knapping, or it was done with a drill. But the stone was set up to be split. Here's another example. Those marks on the edges right through here were made so that they could split the stone into a piece like that. This is seen even on little ones. That little napping along there on the edges was done so that a strike would create a sliver of stone, which when it first come off, it has a razor sharp edge. And when they get a little bit dull, they are cross-napped this way, that way, to sharpen them up. They will start with a large stone, of course, and this is a core. This shows evidence of these slices taken from it. This is a core that shows that faceting tool removal, and it's done from this end. They hit here and they've got a triangle looking piece. These are some of those small Uniface blades. This is part of a knife, tip of a knife. I don't think it goes on there, but this is another part of a knife. This is a little Uniface knife. This is a knife, or possibly a point. This is a knife or a point. This one has a little of a sawtooth edge. This is a sharp edge. And this is a sliver of a sliver of stone that is held that way, a knife. I'm going to stop right here and so the video don't get too long. Folks, this will take several 5-minute videos because it takes Joanna too long to download a real long video. And consider this part 2. These are unusual tools, Uniface tools. They have an unusual shape, and I feel like it was done on purpose because that right there is a crescent shape cutting tool. But it has a strange shape. It's almost as if it was meant for a stop of some sort. This is a stone that has no tool purpose except right up here, and the rest of it's all handle. It's held really well. And there's 2 cutting edges right there in a crescent shape. One of the 5-minute videos that I will concentrate on in this presentation is the human faces on these tools. This one was in the last video. It's a fish, a net weight, but it's also a horse. Or maybe a wolf or dog. In a way, the eye is not positioned correctly to the nostril and mouth for a horse. Well, maybe. But it's a horse or a dog on a net weight. This is another net weight that has a fish on it, on the top of it. And the reason I feel like this is a net weight is because I don't really see any other tool use, possibly a scraping tool right there. But it's the wear that's on this end. It's so consistent all around it. It just doesn't feel like it was, even though it could be held like that as a pounding tool of some sort, but how do they hit all sides? But if it was a net weight, when it was tied on and drug back in, it would get wear that's consistent with that wear. Now that's just a guess, but I don't know. This is an unusual cutting tool. It has a stop right there, and it's held in such a way that if I were to cut something, I would only cut down that deep, right to there. A measured cutting tool. Unusual. Yeah, folks, these folks knew what they were doing, and they had 100,000 years plus of experience. I consider these as, I think that's the word, a tool that is flat on this side, and it's held to as a scraping tool. And yes, there's faces on some of these. But I think that's a scraping tool. And this also, the angle of wear and the way it's held, it feels like a scraping tool. And this is a little scraping tool that could have been hafted right here. It's also a crescent-shaped cutting that shows wear through here, and, well, it's haftable. It's as if this tool had a handle that came out here. Okay, crescent-shaped cutting. I'll get back to this on part 3. Folks, I'm trying my best to explain this the best way I can, because these will all be boxed up and put away for a while. Joanne's getting a little bit impatient with me about getting our YouTube channel about repairing pottery. And we have everything ready. We had a student last week, and now we have time, and we can get that information together. I think y'all will enjoy that channel too. But I just feel like I haven't done everything I can about explaining the Uniface tool method and showing the many patterns that I found and the many images. but I'm going to try my best. So this is part 3. This is another type of tool. Rather than a crescent shape, it has a sharper angle. This tool has that sharp angle cutting. It also has a sharp edge right here, a cutting scraper, and it has the image of, I think, a horse. On this side, it looks more like a horse. And all this back here is just handle for this, this, this. Now, these are examples of the crescent shape cutting. I won't pick every one of them up, but trust me, I have handled all of these stones many, many times, and I know they fit comfortably in my hand. They're made to be a tool. And these type of tools come large. This one, well, a few of these feel as if it took 2 hands to use it, like a draw knife. That's the cutting edge right there. There could have been some pounding up here, but it feels like it should be held with 2 hands. And this one, yeah, some of them are big. And they get smaller. Like I said, they're held really good, easily for the tool use. Yes, folks, these are literally pieces of art. Okay, let me go for now and get back in a little bit so this video doesn't get too long. These are all these are all crescent-shaped cutting tools with a variety of animals on them. This was the snake. Some of the animals are vague, but I can find the eyes on these, so whether the image is real or just a mythical animal, I don't know. And these look like a bird. There's several birds. There's a cutting edge. It just sort of looks like a bird. By looking into the eyes of it, I can find the bird. Not sure what that is. An animal that would have his neck stretched out to that far. One thing that helps is to visualize it more as the animal, like that. This is the image of a horse. This has sort of the look of a bear. Or it could be my imagination on that. Could be my imagination on all of these, but I see an animal there. I see his little eyes. And it's also a tool. This looks like a bear. I see an animal perched up on something and looking. Okay. Now, let me show human faces on all these on some of these stones. I may be overlooking some. This is the right hand profile. Not sure about that one. Some of these images are vague. Not a lot of really great images in here. I mean, you know, they're impressive and all. But mostly these were crescent-shaped cutting tools. Bye for now. Joanna gave me a couple of pictures to frame to hang in the pottery shop. They're 8x10 frames. Really kind of cool. And I'll put them in those frames.